Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello and welcome to Ka Iking Live. I'm your host, Iking. Our guest tonight is the chairman of the worldwide, say that again, worldwide,
Philippine Jury Initiative.
okay, worldwide Philippine
Jury.
Jury Initiative. We welcome Miss Daisy Brett Holt. She is actually a dual citizen, right?
Yes.
Filipino citizen and British citizen.
Yes.
Born in Manila, but with folks coming from the
Catanduanes.
and now she's heading this international movement. Tell us about the jury movement, Daisy.
We thought of this because the Filipinos abroad can see how, especially in these developed countries, they can see how the people behave and what the system allows for people to do, and they follow rules and or the laws. And here we know what happens, and if people can get away with something, they will disregard any law.
What inspired you to advocate for the jury movement?
Actually, I was watching a documentary while I was in the UK about the lives of the poor people in the shanties, and this guy, he's the father of several kids, and he was pushing his cart, and he was picking up rubbish and food. And I said, has the country gone this bad? And I was crying all night. And I didn't know that about a few months later, I was invited to this jury meeting. And I said,
In the UK.
this,
In
in
the
the
UK.
UK.
Okay.
And I said, this is the solution to the country's problem of poverty and corruption.
Why did you mention about that man? You're saying that he is too poor to have access
He
to
is.
justice?
I think he was very poor. And
He couldn't
because
afford a lawyer?
he won't be able to, I wouldn't know that, but will he be able to afford a lawyer? But in that documentary, it just showed how poor the people has become. And I said, I just thought there is, and you can hear from papers that the problem of the Filipinos is poverty and corruption. And corruption is the root cause of this poverty. And
But what is the main difference between a jury system and what we have now? I mean,
okay,
you would still have a judge,
yes,
you
we'll,
will still have lawyers, but you will have the addition of jurors, maybe
yes,
12 or more,
12 or less.
12 or less,
Yes.
right?
Okay. At the moment, we have a single judge system. And, no matter how well-meaning the judge is and God-fearing the judge is, if he is threatened if his life is threatened or his job or position is threatened, he will change his decision. And that is very common in the Philippines.
You
Just
think
look at the
judges
Ampatuan.
are really prone to be threatened?
They are prone to be threatened.
Uh-huh.
And there's no other way to do that. They are just, they can be coerced. Whereas if you have a jury system with 12 jurors, and you may say, oh, there's too much, there's so many of them. But if there are 12 jurors, how will you bribe 12 jurors? You really have to be very rich
You
to
really
do
could
that.
not, because you don't know who they are.
And you
don't
won't
where they
know
are.
who they are. You won't know their names. You won't see them. So it is better to have a jury system. And it is also better for the judges because they will be safe because the accused, who probably is guilty, won't be able to blame the judge for the decision. He won't be able to, he'll blame the jury, but who of the jurors decided that? It is it's not unanimous, it's a majority decision.
He won't even know whom to blame.
He won't know who to blame.
Can the judge overrule a jury?
No.
No.
No, he cannot
So
overrule a
what power
jury.
does the judge have?
The judge is only to guide the jurors. He will only say, okay, these are the laws regarding this case, and these are the laws that you cannot use.
Okay, so he becomes more of a moderator.
Moderator.
But he is the one who makes judgment based on what the jury...
Okay, when the juror says, what we are proposing is, if, say, of the 12, the 12 said, the accused is guilty. 12 of them said the accused is guilty. Therefore, if the maximum penalty is 30 years, the accused will get 30 years in prison. If there are, say, 10 said guilty and 2 not guilty, so there will be a lesser penalty.
So it's up to the judge.
It is, no, they will count how many of the jurors said guilty, how many said guilty, and how many said not guilty. And there will already be a rule on
So what is the remaining power of the judge? He will just
he will instruct them. There is lots. Supposing there is a disagreement between the jurors in the decision, they will have to ask the judge. But the judge will never be in the same room as the jurors who are deliberating.
Okay. That makes him actually less of a judge.
Our idea of a judge.
He becomes more of
He,
a moderator, actually.
a moderator, a teacher, because he will teach the jurors what the laws are.
Okay,
How to
Daisy,
behave.
right now, our constitution does not provide for a jury system, right?
Yes.
So how do you plan to go about it?
Right. First of all, we are going to hold a signature campaign, and the petition is for the adoption of the jury system through a national jury law.
Okay, are you alluding to a people's initiative? Not yet.
Yes, we are. We are going to invoke the RA 6735, which is the Initiative and Referendum Act. So we have to gather around 6.4 million signatures,
Okay.
which is around 10% of the voting registered voters.
And that is enough to pass a law that will allow jury movement.
That will still have, when, let's say, we gathered the required number, 6.4 million, and there's another requirement that we have to gather 3% of the district, legislative district, 3% of the voters there.
Of the same universe of 6.4.
Of the same universe, of the six, but
okay.
the 3% of each legislative district should sign in that petition. After that, say we have completed all the requirements, these signatures will be handed to the COMELEC, and the COMELEC will hold the referendum. And in the referendum, people will be asked, are you in favor of a jury system or not? So if we get,
okay. So there will
so
still
it's
be
only a
referendum.
prerequisite to the referendum.
Does it have to wait for an election?
No. Do you mean the national election?
Yeah, I mean,
No, we don't
sometimes
have.
they just make the referendum ride into an election.
Yes,
Are you saying that there will be a separate referendum?
preferably.
Mm.
Because if you do it together with the election, it will be a hassle to add.
So it will still cost to have a referendum, and could you still lose in a referendum?
What we're going to do is educate. As we gather the signatures, we will educate the people
What it is?
what the jury system is, the advantages of
Why
the
is it
jury
good for
system,
them?
why is it good for the Filipino people, and why is it a practice in other developed countries, which has kept the stability of these developed countries. Yes?
Earlier you were talking about this poor man.
Yes.
What effect does it have on poor complainants or
Yes.
litigants?
Okay. Pope Paul VI said, if you want peace, work for justice. And then, justice begets peace, peace begets prosperity, prosperity begets unity.
Okay.
So if you have justice, we will have prosperity. And prosperity will trickle down to all these people.
Okay, but on a more realistic plane, are you suggesting that in the present system, the rich would have an advantage over the poor because judges can be compromised?
What do you think? Isn't it obvious?
I'm asking you, I'm the host.
I should change you next time.
Okay.
No, I think that is actually one of the reasons why we want this change. Because when we have a jury system, we will be able to shift the power of government from the rich and powerful to the people. So as President Aquino has said, we are his boss. And we cannot be the boss if all the leaders have the power and we don't have. And we vote for them, we make them our representative. But once they're already in power, they forget the little people.
Would you still need good lawyers in a jury system?
Definitely. Because there will still be a lawyer for the accused.
Yes.
And the prosecutor.
Are they going to come
yeah,
before the judge or before the jury? Both?
during the trial,
Yes,
both will
both.
be. Yes, it will be the same courtroom that we have, with the addition of the jurors.
And the people will see the jurors?
What we propose is they won't see the jurors, they won't know who the jurors are. It will be a one-way mirror where the jurors can see the proceedings or whatever is happening in the court, but those in the court, the accused, the lawyers won't see.
Why do you want that? I mean, in the U.S., the jury is seen.
Yeah, they
Why do you
can
want
see.
that here?
Because of the, you know, how powerful the rich people are. We have so many gangland murders.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people where...
Well, they have gangland murders in the U.S. too.
Yes, but they have more law enforcers. They have more police. They can guarantee the safety. But here, I don't think we
Okay.
have so many law enforcers who will actually enforce the law.
Well, have you made some studies on how long it takes for a case to be decided here?
For a case to be decided here at the present system, it takes years. In fact, I have someone who is a member of our organization. He witnessed hit and run. And he didn't hear from the courts until after 10 years, asking him to write down what he witnessed. What kind of justice is that? Justice delayed is justice denied. And that's only one case.
What is the prescription period for what you could call delay? A year's time is delay?
In the UK, the average length of time of a trial is 3 days.
3 days.
3 days. It could be longer than that. It depends on the evidence gathered.
That doesn't
But-
give the lawyer a chance to make a lot of money.
That doesn't, no postponements. Once the trial, jury trial starts, no postponement.
Okay.
So, and the jurors,
No postponement. That's the rule?
that is the rule. And the jurors will be sequestered. They'll be, say, the hearing has finished, they will be kept in one room. They will decide they are not allowed to watch the television, read the papers, hear the radio, use
No,
their
nothing.
mobile phone, no
No
texting.
influence from the outside
No
world.
influence of the outside world. In fact, that happened in the UK when one of the jurors, I don't know, knowingly or unknowingly, she texted a friend that she is in court and she's one of the jurors.
Isn't it that
and it
they're-
was found out, so she was
Disqualified.
not because the case has already is being heard.
And,
So she was fined and she was jailed for 1 month.
wow. But aren't they supposed to confiscate cell phones from the very start?
Yes, they should have. But she was able to do it.
Okay.
But there are some cases where they are allowed to
Daisy,
go home.
there's a reverse of justice denied, that's justice delayed. Justice too fast might also deny someone justice. Don't you
Just
think so?
a fast justice. Not really, because in the jury trials, the jurors also want to finish the case quickly because they have to be in this room. Yeah, but also they want to. It is like self controlling. So you want to finish it, but you also have a duty to give the right decision. Otherwise, you
Okay.
can say, "Oh, we have to finish this," and that if one of the jurors complained about a juror who is trying to finish the case quickly, so he can also that could be a cause for
Is there
obstruction
still
of justice.
a right to appeal
There is a right to appeal, yes,
in a higher court?
in a higher court if one could be there was an evidence that was not shown during the trial.
Okay.
That could be a case.
So a case filed in a higher court could be denied.
It could be denied because they can say that, well,
Justice was served already.
the justice was served and there is no proof that this evidence was not shown,
see.
and the evidence really led to the
Okay, in the event that it is elevated to a higher court, would it be the same jury?
no. It will not be the same jury.
And it
You
could be
only
the same
serve-
lawyers.
They can keep the same lawyers. Yes.
Okay. Are there examples of that happening already in the UK?
In the UK? Yes. There was one who was, in fact, he was found guilty. He was incarcerated for years, and then they found out there was someone who withdrew or withheld the evidence. But after a few years, they discovered this case, so it was brought again to court, and this guy was freed.
Okay. One final question before we break. I understand that in the US, not all lawyers are barristers. Is that correct?
Okay, in the UK, we have barristers and solicitors.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Solicitors are, they have, in, conveyancing. Let's say you want to buy a house. There is a requirement that you, if you're the buyer and I'm the seller, I should have a lawyer and you should have a lawyer.
The two
And
of
these
them
are the
solicitors.
yes.
Okay.
They are both solicitors, and they will transact the business or the sale, representing both of us.
Okay.
And I'll be advised by my solicitor. You'll be advised by the solicitor. Should something happen, and it was proven that you, as the solicitor, or your solicitor, did not do his due diligence, he could be sued, and he will be. You could.
Okay.
So those are the
Hold your thoughts.
solicitors.
We'll go back to that. When we come back, we'll talk about the difference between a solicitor and a barrister. And we'll ask Daisy also whether a solicitor could also be a barrister. We'll take a break. Take it away, baby.